Begin. Hi, everyone. Happy Small Business Week and welcome to BBB Trust Talks. My name is Carla Laird. I'm the manager for community and public relations at BBB serving mainland BC. And with me is my co-host and event facilitator, Prerna Sharma, our marketing and events coordinator.
Hi, everyone. Happy Small Business Week.
We are quickly making our way through our limited interview series as we are about to kickstart our 7th BBB Trust Talks episode. So just to give a quick recap, throughout October, we will be connecting with some of our accredited small business owners across the province, learning about their businesses, hearing about their experiences as entrepreneurs, the lessons they have learned along the way, and of course, finding out more about the teams that support their day-to-day operations. If you've missed any of the last 6 episodes, just search Better Business Bureau serving mainland BC on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube, and you will have unlimited access to all of the recordings. Although we are almost at the end of Small Business Week, we still encourage you to go out into your communities and find the small businesses that are eagerly waiting to welcome and serve you. As part of our Small Business Week celebrations, we will be getting up close and personal, virtually of course, with some of the businesses in our local communities. We hope you enjoy the connections we have lined up and that you will share these business stories with your friends and families as part of your contribution towards supporting our local small businesses this week. Now for today's chat. We're introducing you to Greenfield Landscaping based in North Vancouver. And joining us to share more about the company are Alex Shabani and Trish Rivers. Welcome to BBB Trust Talks, and thank you both for taking the time to chat with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
So to get things going, I would love for you to introduce yourself to our viewers. So Alex, why don't you go first?
Yeah, my name is Alex Shabani. I'm the owner, operator of this Greenfield Landscaping. I've been in this business since 1996. My dad started this business in 1996 in Burnaby. Actually, that was our first job here in Vancouver. And 96, I started to. I used to be in a mechanic and the kitchen industry. So my dad asked me if he wants me to come and join the team and we start something new, which I couldn't say no to it because it's a family. So yeah, 96, we started this business. I took over and it's been 25 years this year. I've been in this business and I can tell you it's been a long, long, long journey for me.
Awesome. Trish, how about you?
I actually have kind of come full circle. When I was a kid, I used to own a flower shop and I used to be in landscaping, and then got out of that and worked my way through management and different positions. Moved to BC 10 years ago and got into facilities management and actually stumbled upon a posting for this job, which really excited me because it got me back to where I was 25 years ago in floral and landscaping, so which leads me to where I am right now.
Yeah. So Alex, with a name like Greenfield Landscaping, there is no question about what your company specializes in. But I think before we dive into the details of your services, we should hear more about how the business came to be and why you guys chose Greenfield Landscaping as the name.
Well, again, like I said, we came to Canada in 1993 and we didn't have a set because we are new in the country and my dad always wanted to do something. We tried the restaurant business in Toronto and that's where we used to live before and it didn't work out. And my dad has been back home. He built probably over a million houses because he was in the construction business for past 30 years back home. So again, he started something new and we just follow that route with him because he had it in him. He's been in the construction business for a long time, and again, it's just something that we decided to do, right? It kind of, we liked it because in our blood, right? And we had numerous names when we started this company, from number sign company to odd names. And one day, honestly, I was just sitting with my accountant and we were just doing accounting, and I said, I want to open a limited company. And we said, what should we write it? And I said, Greenfield. So literally within like 10-15 minutes, we came up with this name, believe it or not. So yeah, that's how this whole name started from.
Oh, a good brainstorming session.
Yeah.
With your accountant.
10 minutes, me and my accountant, and the name is probably created right there, So yeah, again, not the name again. It just came up like that, right? But yeah.
That's great to hear. Firstly, congratulations on your big, a 25 years journey. So since we're learning about where things all began, Trish, tell us the story about how you joined the team at Greenfield Landscaping.
Sure. I'll condense it. Basically, I had been working in venue services at the time, and not really fully looking for something new, to be honest, but just looking for something to supplement income in my off hours because I was looking to buy something. And I've never looked on a specific website for jobs before. I ended up looking through this website just to get something part-time. And this job just kept popping up over and over and over and over and over again. And I know it sounds like a bit of a cliche, but we believe that everything happens for a reason. So I was like, I'm not looking for a full-time job right now. But I clicked on it and then ended up being like, yeah, I'll just call Alex and see, like, maybe I can help him out part-time while he's still looking for somebody else. And basically I walked through the door and I've been here ever since. I agreed to come on part-time, and then within 3 days I was like, you know what? Yeah, I think this is for me. So I wrapped up my other job and I've been the operations manager for 3 years ever since.
That's beautiful. When people think of landscaping, not many see it as a place for a woman, but you are one of the key drivers behind the day-to-day operations for this business. How do you comfortably navigate a male-dominated industry?
Well, that's a really long conversation, but I've actually kind of been in those type of industries for a lot of my life. Like I've had a million jobs, but I've been in facilities management too for quite a while. Same kind of thing. I have to be assertive and have a very strong personality, basically, because if not, everybody will walk all over me. But I think just in general, if you give respect, you get respect, whether, it doesn't matter if you're a woman or a man. And if you demand that respect, no matter who you are, the people, will treat you as such. And if the people aren't respecting you, that's not really people we want to work with anyway. So, and honestly, just learning along the way, just with everything. Again, doesn't really matter the gender. If you find out who your audience is and you speak to them and what they need that way, then that's how you get things done.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with you there. You serve as the operations manager, as just like we were talking about a few seconds ago. What does a day on the job look like for you?
Well, no day or hour, for that matter, is ever the same. Being the operations manager essentially means that I run everything from inside office staff to jobs outside to making sure everything's going smoothly to materials and everything else. So essentially between me and Alex, I am more of the logistical operations side of everything and organizing everything related to our office, our system, project management, incoming jobs and quotes, that kind of thing. And Alex is more functional, operational. He's managing the day-to-day out in the field. He's managing what the guys are doing, training. He's managing the facilitation of those quotes that are being carried out, that kind of thing. So we work as a team to essentially manage the business. So yes, I'm operations manager, but we operate the business basically.
Yeah.
We're the same, two different functions, but the same.
Yeah. Teamwork definitely makes the dream work here.
Half the time, I guess, I'm inside and half the time I'm outside, but there's no day-to-day. I could be on site for a full day. I could be in the office for a full day. I could be with a customer for a full day. So it's very different every single day.
Yeah, teamwork is very important for us because, again, the foundation of this company is based on family.
Yes.
Well, that's how we started thing. Trust is very important for us. Again, teamwork. So that's how we go forward. You know, if people
Yeah.
come in here, they don't want to be in this environment, in the family-oriented environment, we just tell them straightforward. I said, you know what, doesn't work out like that, right? So
Yeah.
for us, doesn't matter, male, female, respect. It's very important for us, and that's number one key when someone comes on board for us, plus the clientele as well too.
Yeah, absolutely. Like these are things that anyone would want, you know, with someone they have to work with, whether it's from the consumer end or from the employee end. So yes, you're definitely showing us that your business has a real reason to be a part of the BBB. Absolutely.
It's important. Again, trust, that's one of the reasons, you know, we wanted to be BBB, you know, member, because again, we showing people that, you know what, you can trust us. Again, that's how we built this business. 25 years, it just didn't come up like that. No, you know, again, it just, we had to gain that trust. We had to tell people that, I mean, like I said, you mentioned 2008, we had this drop. The reason why we stayed in this business is because people trust us. People says, okay, these company, you know, they're family oriented, they're family business. They come in, they get the job done the proper way, and they go out, right? So
yeah. Well, you mentioned before that you guys have been around for 25 years. And when I looked at your BBB business profile, I saw where you guys have an A+ rating with that. So that's an absolutely amazing accomplishment. You know, I'm sure looking at the last 2+ decades, the company has grown and evolved in many ways. So Alex, share with us what products and services you offered when the business just started, and even the areas where you served at that time compared to what you do and where you serve now.
yeah, so basically, again, 1996, my dad calls me, says, I got this job. You know, I said, Dad, what is it? He said, you know what, we're going to do a driveway. I said, what is driveway? What are we going to put on the bottom of it? What are we going to do? They said, don't worry about it. Just come on in, you know, we're just going to get it done. I mean, we got it done. It was wrong. You know, we end up us going back to them, fixing it. But the way we started this thing was we used to just do paving stones and retaining walls. That's how we started this thing, because my dad was in a structural business back home.
Right.
But during the years, you know, we keep adding up like softscaping. I did some home studying. I did some read books about what the soil is, what amount of soil do I need to put in the planter. So we added the softscaping department into the hardscaping. And from there on, then we added the machine work part of it, doing excavation, grading. Then we added water management into it, and suddenly, like, you know, 5-6 years down the road, we were this complete landscape company that you would hire. We would come in there and finish, basically start from A to Z. I mean, like, doing everything that has to do with outside work.
So just to elaborate on that, they would master a piece and then kind of move on to something else. They realized at the very beginning, just from talking to his dad, that jumping in and starting is fantastic. But then you're like, oh, there's a lot more to this than I thought, you know? So it's exactly. So now they've gone back and they're, let's say, Allen Block master wall builders now. They've been ICPI trained. Everyone, the senior staff who work here have done lots of training. We've had the softscaping division kind of go through horticultural training to kind of bring us to where we are. And then the excavation piece that came in, same kind of thing. It was like making sure that they had the right tools, the training, and then we also make sure we have all the right machines in place to make sure that happens. And for us, landscaping is a really broad term. So we're more of like a landscape construction company. So we do everything from start to finish. So usually, like, we can start a new build and excavate the whole thing, do all the hardscaping, all the startscaping, and walk out and you have a finished product. So for lack of a better term, we're kind of like your one-stop shop for landscaping.
It took me many years to learn all the machinery. I didn't take any schools, anything like that. I basically one day rented an excavator, sat in it. I flipped that thing, and my brothers had to come and lift it up. It was a light excavator, and I mean, I've been stuck. I've been hitting gas line, but I learned it. But I cannot say I'm an expert on machinery, but I'm pretty high up there by, you know, so many years.
Yeah.
I guess, you know, we started this in Burnaby, and I used to live in Burnaby, and one day I came to North Shore, and I looked at this hill up in West Vancouver. I'm a big dreamer. I'm a very big dreamer, and I said to myself, you know what, I pointed at the mountain, I said, I'm going to be up there one day, and I'm going to do a lot of work up here, which I've been up here for the past 12 years now.
Wow.
People call me from Coquitlam, Burnaby. I'm just saying, I'm sorry, I cannot move from here to now because I'm busy. So that's why I'm stuck in North Shore, because again, that's the dream that I wanted, and the universe kind of handed over to me and says, there you go, take over it now. So I used to live in Coquitlam, Tri-City, for past 15, 16 years. I was just driving back and forth, and last year I decided, what, I cannot do it anymore. So I moved to North Shore, so I'm a North Shore resident.
And a proud one at that. Thank you so much for sharing that inspiring story, Alex. Yeah. Trish, as you know, there are hundreds of other landscaping businesses that serve the same areas as Greenfield Landscaping. But for consumers watching right now, what would you say makes this business unique when compared to others in the industry?
Well, one thing we've already talked about is our experience in general. As Alex has so eloquently put it, you always learn from your mistakes, and even though obviously mistakes should be less and less, but you have to start somewhere. So we have a lot of experience doing a lot of different things. When you're out there, it's not like on a piece of paper. When you're on a job site, plans are fantastic, but once you're actually there, troubleshooting in the moment is very different. So we have the experience with that as well. Not everybody is in the kind of in what we're looking for. We are very selective about what clients we take on because of the type of work we do. And again, like we talked about before, it kind of has to work both ways, mutually respect for the client and for us. If you don't have an idea of what you're doing and respecting our process on how we're going to be doing the job for you to get what you need, that might not be the best fit. We like to, different maybe from other companies, is we spent a lot of time up front with you to make sure that we know your vision for what you're looking for. So it's not just about saying, I want some, walls in the backyard. Usually without people knowing it, they have an idea about what they want. They want their kids to play in the backyard, or, they want an entertainment space or things like that, but they just say, oh, I want a patio. So we're spending the extra time to make sure, like, why do you want a patio? Like, do you have a dog? Should we fence in the patio? Do you want, are you looking for housekeeping around the patio? Do you want to raise your patio? Like, that's just obviously a very small thing, but we're different in many ways with experience, making sure that the client always comes first. And honestly, we'll be upfront with you. If you're telling us, what the job is and the scope of the job, and if we can't help you, we will do our best to find someone who can, but we'll be upfront and just let you know, sorry, that's not something we can do for you.
Yeah. What I usually tell to my clients when I go see a job, I say, I'm not here for your money. I'm here for your solution. If me doing a retaining wall, it's just not a retaining wall. I need to know where that water is going to go. Is it the water is going to trap behind that wall for the next 15 years? Is that wall going to stay there for the next 15 years? That's what I tell my client. I say, you know what? Don't try to say, okay, Mr. Y came and tell me, okay, this much, and you telling me this much. There's a reason behind it. So that's why always we are, like she said, we are say, listen, if you have the budget, spend the money. If you have like $2,000, don't spend that money. Save more money. Call me next year, and I come and do the job for you properly.
Right? Absolutely.
You need to look for me the next 6 months. Say like my drive is sank, or my wall is coming down, and I got water behind my retaining wall. I don't know what. So again, we are one of those companies that once we try to do something, we look at it for next 20 years, next 15 years. Is that wall going to stay? Is that tree is a good spot for it to be planted? So that's why, we select our clients, right? Because again, we are out there to work with their budget and do something for them that it's, again, 15, 20 years that what I've done is going to be sitting there.
Yeah.
That's why we are different from other companies.
Yeah, absolutely. Alex, I wanted to dive a little into COVID-19. Yeah. And if we focus specifically on this whole pandemic, how would you say your business was impacted when it started?
Well, it was a scary thing. Let me be very honest. As a business owner, people stop calling us. I mean, people are freaking out because it's a new thing for everybody. I mean, it's worse for the business owners, for small businesses especially, because we rely on those clientele, right? And if they don't allow me to go to their house, I mean, obviously I'm going to go down. So yeah, it was an impact for us. It took me a month almost to try to figure out how we're going to do this thing. Again, I mean, it did impact us for sure. It did impact us for sure. We had staff leaving us, because of the COVID situation. Getting them back, it was a tough situation because of the government helping them, and they didn't want to work anymore. So it's been a roller coaster ride for us. Again, it hit us for sure.
Yeah, we had to shift gears a little bit as well. I mean, being a small business, if you are focusing on one piece of your business and that one piece is gone, you don't have a business anymore. So quickly we realized if that piece is gone, we got to do something else. So we just kind of refocused on the things that we knew wouldn't change.
Right.
Machine work, for example. Machine work, you're outside, you're by yourself for the most part. And we ended up switching gears, so we were doing a lot more machine work and a lot of just starting with new builds instead of working with homeowners until they got more comfortable with the situation, what was going on, and then understood what protocols we were putting in place to make that happen. For the office, for example, we don't have people coming in here for meetings and things like that anymore. We meet them on site. So, which is better for them anyway. They really like it. And that way we're outside, we can easily social distance. When the guys are working, for the most part, they're working far away from each other anyway. But when you have to work in close distances, you're installing things like that, masks are in place, everybody's got their tool bags, everybody's got their first aid kit. Their first aid kit has like their sanitizer, their wet ones, their masks. Like we have all of that, and like little containers for everybody that are refillable. So I mean, it's been a challenge, but that's just the way things are now and the way life is. So it's no longer a hindrance. It's just, that's the way
it is what it is.
Yeah.
Definitely, and the ability to work around all these challenges and hindrances is what makes a business stand apart from your competitors, right?
Absolutely.
So thank you for giving us an insight into how you were able to pivot the pandemic as well. So, keeping in mind trust, right? Trust is another top priority for consumers right now. Alex, we saw on your BBB business profile that you decided to get BBB accredited a few years ago. What was happening at that time, and what made you join the BBB?
Well, again, it's before Trish joined my business, I was kind of a one-man operator kind of thing, and it was a lot of things happening in my head, and I always wanted basically to expand my business by getting involved with BBB and with other companies as well, right? So again, I put an ad in there, and she walked into my office, and again, that was the way I wanted to go, and that's why I decided to go with BBB, right? Because again, our business again is based on trust. So if my business is based on trust, why not, join BBB, because it's going to give.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, exactly. Right? So we like to show the clients out there that, what, they can trust us. That's why we are with BBB, right?
Yeah, it aligns perfectly with what your business believes in. Absolutely.
Exactly. Again, like I said, my dad started this thing, and my dad being old school, he's always says, make sure your client is always happy, always is satisfied. So that went to my head, my brother's head, and that's how we've been operating since then. And that's why we are still here. We are still one of those companies out there in North Shore that people knows us for trust.
Yeah.
And that's very important to us. Again, trust is more important than the client's money. So,
and that's perfectly correct, because integrity, transparency, all the things that matter is what will keep a consumer coming back and keep 100%. Your business operating through all kinds of crisis or whatever will happen.
Yes, because you hear stories every day, like, oh, this company did that, that company did this and that, right? So again, that's why we try to go with BBB, to tell client that, you know what, we are not one of those companies.
Yeah.
Which is the challenge as well.
Yeah.
Like you said, there's 1,000 companies out there, and one guy with a shovel, a consumer doesn't know.
Yeah.
And they have no idea until the job's not done correctly. And sadly, they'll call us to be like, hey, I know you quoted on this job before. Can you come fix it now? So for the consumer, I would just say, do your research.
Yeah.
I mean, not everybody's the same. And that's another reason why we're part of the BBB.
Yeah. Now, I know some of the other things consumers look at aside from trust is knowing that they can be a part of or work with a business that supports the communities that they serve. So I'll probably ask this one to Trish. How does Greenfield Landscaping give back to the community?
Well, we've actually had some programs in the past where it's not like a co-op and it's not necessarily volunteer work, but we do take a lot of new people that are from the community that either have struggled with work or just like really like being outside but not really sure what they want to do. So we really like giving people a chance to, we have tons of knowledge here to give people. So it's really great to be able to take someone who's maybe been struggling to get a job and help kind of train them into something that they want to be. Sadly, that just basically means that, they've got so much confidence, they've gone to move on to something else, but that's great for us. We do around Christmas time and Thanksgiving, there's various charities that we give to. One specifically, I don't want to single anybody out. So at Christmas time, there's a specific charity that there's something we do with, and we provide things for them every year to do that as well. And then there's some things that people have asked us for, like there's little helping out things that we've done with gardens and softscaping for somebody who maybe couldn't do it. We've given some free things to some people who have done business with us in the past, and they're great clients. And we did a home makeover actually for the Maryland Dentist Show, which was a lot of fun. Providing all the volunteer services for that, which was really fun. Yeah. So we do. I mean, obviously we're very busy, but we do really like to give back when we can.
Yeah, that's absolutely important. And I love that homemaker where I should probably throw my name in there for the next one.
You might see me in action.
Yeah. Sounds fun.
Sadly, I'm in that video.
It absolutely sounds fun. As we approach the end of today's conversation, I want you both to share a few tips with those watching us today. Alex, many business owners have their own unique way of balancing family life and managing the business. What is your strategy?
It's a very tough question. You answer. I gotta answer to you, and somehow I'm gonna because again, it's as a business owner, I put more time into the business than the family. I mean, this is just a no-brainer. Everybody knows that. But weekends I don't work. I mean, Fridays I take off home early, but Saturday, Sunday strictly is family business. I don't do any calls. I don't do any estimation, anything like that. And I try to, when I go home in the afternoons, I mean, try to do as much as possible with my 2 kids, 2 wonderful boys I have, and the wife. But again, it's one of those tough questions that you ask any business owner. They're not going to give you satisfied answer to you.
And it's a struggle though, because knowing that you have to manage the business is the breadwinning source for that family. So it takes a lot of effort. So everyone's story, everyone's strategy is different. Some people will, for instance, work in the night when their kids are sleeping. So for you to make sure you set aside specific family time, which is important. And so it's a strategy, and if it's working, it's working.
It's working. Sometimes I do hear complain, I mean, from my kids, Daddy, why you late, this and that, right? I mean, right now, because we moved to North and I'm close to them and I see them more often than before, right? So again, it's struggling, but we try to do as much as possible.
And I think that's what's most important, that you try.
Yes, you have to try everything, right? So.
So Trish, for you, if you had one piece of advice for a young woman who has recently been employed to work as the operations manager for a small business in a male-dominated industry, what would it be?
Honestly, one of the things I'd say is don't give up. As soon as you kind of get into this industry, there's I guess for lack of a better word, it's almost like everybody wants to see what you can do. Everybody wants to see what you know and what you can come up with and how easily you can be pushed out. So stand your ground, don't give up. You're in it for a reason. And you know, you're smart, you're knowledgeable. You wouldn't be in that position in the first place if you didn't actually have the skills to do the job. So believe in yourself and make sure that you know, I've got this, you know. A lot of times for myself, and I would say for other people, I mean, there's a lot of people out there that you can lean on them, ask them for help, reach out, especially women in business, because it's kind of hard to go to, you know, one of the guys and be like, hey, I'm having this issue. And they're like, I don't understand, what's your problem? So lean on the people that you know, to like, be a part of the community memberships that they have out there. Like the BNI, for example, is a really good resource. And there's a lot of other great entrepreneurs and women in business that you can share ideas with and share frustrations with and help you move forward.
Yeah, I love that answer.
Yeah.
Lots of support from the team members.
Absolutely. That's great advice. I'll direct this question to both of you. What are some tips you would share to consumers shopping around in your industry right now? Alex, you can go first.
Do your homework. I mean, try to get at least 3 to 4 different estimates. Compare them, like they say, apple to apple. Don't say my gardener told me I'm going to do that. I mean, again, clients ask and then gardener, landscaper, 2 different things. You know, sometimes clients, they get confused in those 2 things. But all I'm saying is that do your homework, try to get minimum 3 to 4 quotations, and call around, ask about the story of this company from your suppliers. Say, call the suppliers, say, do you guys know these guys? What do you guys recommend about them? And right now, you know, social media, you can research anything online, right? So that's my the tip to the consumers out there.
Yeah, that's a really big one. I'd like to say know what you want. That's not always the case. But when it just goes along with what Alex was saying. If you don't have an idea of what you want, you can easily be taken advantage of by companies who are just looking to make a buck. May have been here last year and this year, but won't be here next year. Yeah. So kind of deep dive into with whoever you're choosing on what you're looking for and why, and be upfront with them and honest on what you can spend, because what we find when people call us after the fact is, you know, you get quotes, that's fantastic, and then afterwards they're like, oh, it's an extra 50,000. Oh, there's an extra 70,000, and it's not something you can go in the backyard and pick off your money tree, especially at this time of year, right? So just be informed. I can't say that enough.
Another thing I would say to the customers out there is that you're not painting your house. If you don't like the paint on your house, next year, 2 years down the road, you could repaint that house by itself. But landscaping, it's not just hiring someone says, okay, I'm going to do paving stones. Like I said, there's more into paving stones. What do you have on the base? What is under that base? Where is that water going to go? So I say to my client, listen, don't waste your $5,000 that you have. Keep that $5,000, make it to $10,000, and do a proper job.
Right.
Those are some definitely useful tips out there for our consumers. And our final question, and by far the easiest one, for viewers watching that want to get in touch with you about your products and services, aside from your business profile on bbb.org, how can they get through to you?
Well, you can call us, text us, email us. We're on House. You can look us up on our website. And actually there's Instagram, honestly Facebook. Though, yeah, Facebook. Yeah. We're on all the usual media platforms, but we love to actually hear from you. So give us a call. We'll always get information on email, but give us a call. Like, well, we like to talk to you then.
And we have a good reputation with our suppliers. So, you know,
You can ask them too. Yeah.
if you call our suppliers, they know us, and you will hear good recommendation.
Awesome. I love that, you know, you can go anywhere and just ask about Greenfield Landscaping and someone will have something to say.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure it's going to be positive.
25 years of experience. Again, you know, we done you know, all the way to, you know, $50 million houses up in West Vancouver. So we know our stuff. We know what needs to be done the proper way.
Awesome.
It's true. I can't really go anywhere without someone being like, oh yeah, Alex Shabani, I've worked with him.
And just like that, we've come to the end of another fabulous episode in our BBB Trust Talks series. Running a small business requires all hands on deck, so we truly want to thank both Trish and Alex for taking the time to share with us the Greenfield Landscaping business story, along with those valuable tips for consumers and life lessons for all our viewers. We hope you enjoyed today's Trust Talk and that you will join us again tomorrow at noon for our 8th episode. So take care and we will see you then. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.